Want to find out how this half of the month is panning out for your zodiac sign and how to get the best out of it? Come and join YILDIZ Readings 5D and we'll have a look. A very warm welcome to YILDIZ Readings 5D. For those of you that don't know, I'm a psychic medium. I cover astrology, soul coaching, twin flame path and more. I am live weekly, so please click the bell and subscribe. And if you do want more creative content like this, come and join the tribe. Additionally, we have the members zone, so if you do want the creative content early and have a coaching room, we do have the join button. For all booking information, the link is directly below. Without further ado, let's get into the update for your zodiac sign for your bi-monthly report. For all the dates, retrogrades and aspects occurring, as well as the great days and the difficult days, I have created a report after this update for your zodiac sign and it is incorporated inside. You can stream forward now or let's jump into your update. Hi beautiful Capricorn, we're here to have a look at your romance house. That's for couples, singles, twin flames and soulmates. Yes, I do twin flame coaching, so if you haven't subscribed, please come through and join the crew. We also are going to look at your career sector, your finances, family, health, well-being and your chakra report. So without further ado, sit back, relax, let's have a look at how this bi-monthly energy can transform and change your life. Okay, beautifuls, as we say, pre-warned, forearmed, this is set to be an action-packed month for you. Now, you may really be changing and doing a complete 60. Connections this month, unfortunately, can be both great and probably not so great. And that's because we have Mars in its detriment transiting your 7th house. Now, positively speaking, you are used to that placement there and you may feel themes to do with 2020 coming up. That is because prior to May, we did have the nodes in Cancer and Capricorn. Mars entering this area can be helping you reflect upon ways to integrate how your emotions are, both in relation to these individuals and how you were, but it's a reassessment of these domains. I do feel spiritually a lot of you can be looking at your beliefs and your values, not only who you are and what the connection is, but also whether some of those outdated ways are relevant to the new version of you. This potentially can come through in a various of ways, with the current transits. So I would say it's really important to see these things through. I do feel if you spiritually are discontent with the connection at this point in time, you may be really addressing those areas and it can amplify it. Try and be patient with individuals, but also with yourself, because it's really not a one-sided transaction. Never is a connection a one-sided transaction. So if it spiritually potentially had been or is, this is where it will be under the microscope and the cracks can really be seen. I would say this is a beautiful time that you can pour energy into your relationship, and this can be very intimate and very passionate. On the lower polarity, if aggravation is there and the balance within the connection isn't there, you may find that you don't resonate with individuals as much between now and June. We also can be hearing from people from the past, and that's because by mid-month we are having Mercury going into shadow retrograde. So don't be surprised if these old themes replay out again. This can be returns of these individuals, as well as I really feel you guys are looking at where your spiritual compass is. How do you resonate? Do you see this connection going the distance? Regardless of whether you're with this person or not, spiritually, you guys individually are going through this transformative sense. This also can be a time when you are doing a lot of inner child work. Very separately, this is a very fertile time for you. So pre-warned, forearmed, be very careful with your interactions if it's something maybe you're not wanting. As I said, with Mars transiting your Venus house, it can be a passionate time. Now, some of you also may have had social aspirations that you were dealing with, and maybe this was keeping you away from your romantic interest. Very separately, it may be that your social responsibilities were taking a lot of time up. Now, I feel a lot of you are still moving towards ending some of those things, moving things about to create more balance. And I feel having the quality time to have some groundedness is really going to assist you moving through the rest of the month. If you have felt quite tested, so to speak, spiritually, you also can find that you're assessing what the give and take is, and that can be within your love life and your connections as you move forward. But I do feel a lot of you are being quite hard on yourself. This is going to be set to be a very positive thing. It just can feel a little bit like deja vu. As we do go into mid-month, really pay attention to keeping balanced, and really important to pay attention to communication and crosswise. Let's have a look at how family and home are shaping, and then we'll move on to your career. Okay, beautifuls, let's have a look at your family domain. Now, ironically, you do have Aries in the 4th house, which does mean linking to family, we may have wounds. Very separately, it could be that our responsibilities, our stability, may be due to circumstances in the past were potentially problematic. Now, I do feel most of you are really going to move beyond this, but I do feel many of you are wanting to have a bit more quiet time. If people that are dealing with you are working quite fluidly and autonomously, I feel it will work more effectively. But if they're really placing things on your shoulders, you're really going to take on the demeanor of Cancer this month. This can be a time when you are more assertive, but it also can be where you're more giving and understanding towards people. Just try to not overburden yourself this month with it, where then it may directly affect your psychology. So keeping grounded, being mindful, adhering to your social obligations, but also, being a bit gentle on yourself, where you can't be everything to everyone. And I feel during this time, especially with Saturn retrograde and inside of your family, your own personal commitments, we can't help others if we can't help ourselves. And with Mercury retrograding, sometimes it's to the detriment of our health, especially if we're multitasking, having to do so much. So really being rational. I feel Saturn retrograde is going to show you where the loopholes are and solutions. So looking at from that polarity and being mindful that yes, people can be very emotional, but it's not always all ours to hold. Getting grounded, understanding the transits, and yes, this too shall pass. Mars exits the house of Cancer on the 11th of June. And this also can be very positive, where we can put more energy into those areas. Home renovations, our family, beauty, enhancements, our finances. And I do feel this is going to be a very busy month for you, Capricorn. So go easy with yourself. And I do see a lot of changes, especially happening within your appearance. Let's have a look at your career and how this bi-monthly energy is transforming thus. Okay, in the career field, I do feel some of you are actually changing the way you are tackling circumstances. This can really be where you are changing your dress sense, your hair, the way you show up, and really working very hard to change people's minds. But this is also your demeanor very personally. I do feel from an income point of view, a lot of you by mid-month will be assessing how to change your responsibilities around when it does come to home-related dynamics. This can be homes, bills, assets, the rebuild, and the direction in which you're wanting to move towards. If you are running a business, you can be reflecting upon how effective that is going and what you could do to change things about to be more effective. If you have been working on something in the realm of creativity and you're really nurturing that project in your employment field, be it it's your own business or career or hobby, it can turn into something quite lucrative. This can be where certain things that you are creating do end up being quite luxurious and saleable goods. Separately, I do feel you can reap some rewards from your employment and your creative pursuits, but you also could be really needing to balance things out and tie loose ends up prior to mid-month so that stress doesn't get on top of you. I do feel even prior to Mercury retrograde, a lot of you may be seeing some positive results. If you are wanting to seek employment, now would be the best time to actually get that resume out, to de-stress yourself and really only focus on what is within your control. Because I do feel by mid-month, this is where things can be really bouncing off. And it doesn't mean to say you can't receive employment during Mercury retrograde. It actually can do the polar opposite. You can have more on offer than you anticipated. So just keep that in mind with your schedule this month, Capricorn, because it can become extremely busy, especially with people's emotions and their feelings, being understanding. I do feel a lot of you have the bigger picture in mind. It may be people aren't grasping that you do have this in the bag. So have faith in yourself, and I do see growth, potentially even in the element of income. Let's have a look at your finances and see how that is shaping up. Now, as I mentioned, Capricorn, I do see very positive aspects in the first 2 to 3 weeks of this astrology. Now, that is in the realm of creative pursuits, generating income. This is also if you are selling something that was something that you created and you held as value in a luxury, you may get more than you bargained for it. And although I can't advise you financially, I can tell you astrologically. Do pay close attention to your day-to-day routine, and also by that of what you consume. You can become stressed. It's really important to, if you are really eating on the run, that you take a little bit of time to breathe and to eat and enjoy, because I do see a lot going on and stress levels directly causing a little bit of indigestion for you. I do see financially, if you were tying up a lot last month, at a financial level, I do see these things to be quite positive now moving forward. And yes, psychologically speaking, I do feel you guys are pretty much going to be on the money with hunch energy. So if you are psychically tuning into a real great idea, and this is in the realm of communication, your spiritual gifts, your values, try to have belief in yourself during this time, but you may find you're second guessing yourself. Now, this could really move forward up until after the eclipse in Sagittarius, but we'll double check on that energy then. But this can be a very lucky time for those of you on the luck factor. At a socially responsible level, you may have some financial commitments that you need to address, but I'm seeing it more to be in the realm of your work. So tying up those loose ends, getting grounded, making sure that you're doing everything correctly, and you can get advancement in that area. For some of you, there can be money spent on children, and this can be well-being. And it's, you know, I always say this, it's always, we tend to need to treat the people around us, but we need to be treated also. And it's really just taking a spiritual holiday, having 5 when one needs it. So yes, for some of you, there can be money laid out due to well-being. And this can be R&R. This could be a physical holiday for some of you. But I do feel really having some time to meditate, having time to breathe. A lot of these projects that you're trying to get off the ground can be a little bit tedious, and it does look as though you are able to juggle. Just don't take it all on your shoulders if it's not all your obligation. I do see a lot of you upgrading your wardrobe. This can be haircuts, you know, getting things that are really luxurious towards, you know, your sense of well-being. And you may be finding that you're eating luxury food as well, you know, really inclined to eat enjoyable food during this time. So just, you know, pay attention to that. I've always found that when we have transits in Taurus, we tend to go to that Venus element. So our taste buds are really on fire when it does come to food and our 6 senses. Let's have a look at your health and how this bi-monthly can be affecting your aura and your health. Capricorn. Okay, number 1, I would say go gently into this month. You can be led to extremes this month, and that's because you have Pluto in your 1st house. You may feel that you want to throw the baby out with the bathwater, that you want to change your hair, you want to change your style, that you want to tackle the world right here, right now. But because we do have Juno retrograde in your 12th house and the eclipse is set to be in your 12th house, you can get yourself burnt out. So it's very important to take time to meditate, to not rush in, to really look at the reasons why these things can be coming up, of extremities, and how we can get balanced. I do feel many of you, by having somebody very close to you that you can discuss these areas with, and this can be a best friend, this can be a soul advisor, that by having a talk about some of these experiences you've had, or even what your hopes and dreams and your aspirations are, it can help you really get things off your chest and gain some perspective. I do feel many of you are really moving towards big term goals. Some of you may really want to change your vehicles and your technology. Some of you, this can be the long-term goal over it's directly happening this month. For some of you, it can be happening this month. But I'm also seeing that we do need to practice healthy speech, especially for your zodiac sign. If home and family is tense, I feel by balancing and seeing the other person's perspective, we can stand back and not have to own it. Very separately, I feel many of you can really be understanding people's perspectives, but wondering where they come from. And I also see that if you're, you can be experiencing headaches through tension. Really great time for those of you with such heavy third eye and 12th house placement. You may find, eye strain. So if you find that coming up, actually getting that checked, as well as throat chakra. Let's have a look at the cycles of the moon and how they can be shaping your emotions. I always laugh when I'm doing astrology and I get downloads, Capricorn. Okay, it's so strange because I heard in my head on the first day of Christmas, and the funny thing is we always say Christmas in July, and I do feel because you do have Venus in the house of Cancer at the moment, it is talking about something quite major happening in July, and I do feel a lot of these changes that you're going through emotionally, spiritually, you're really probably going to know in the first 4 days. It's like these intentional energies moving forward. It's like things are going to be shifting. You intuitively sense it and feel it. Now, between the first and the second, you can feel that some themes are outdated, and that can be old thoughts, old beliefs. It is very much base chakra. Now, yes, it can feel very much the house of self. This can feel emotionally, our soul is transforming and we are shedding kind of like our old life force. So be patient with yourself, allow and get grounded. So it's really good that it is in the house of Capricorn, because you will be able to do breathing exercises and get your energy anchored in. Balance the base chakra, eat the fruit groups of that chakra, which can then anchor in and help support your system. Between the 4th and the 5th, we have the moon transiting Aquarius. And for you, this can be transforming your income sector. This also can be self-esteem related and emotions. I would highly advise, because it is in the second house, balance both the base chakra, your throat chakra, and your crown chakra, because Aquarius can link to nervous system energy within astrology. By supporting and enhancing these areas, we can get the best out of the transits and not move to the lower frequency. And it's not to say that when we do, it's negative. There's always light after dark, so trust the process. Now, from the 5th and the 6th, we have the moon transiting Pisces. This is going to be really amplified because it's in the house of Jupiter at the moment. So for your zodiac sign, really paying attention to the road as traveling. This could be a major situation that can be really great, or it could be really quite yucky. Emotions can be going up and down, but I do feel it's quite psychic in nature. I'm not feeling anything negative, but this could be huge revelation. So pay attention to your psyche during this time. Balance the crown chakra, and I do feel really journaling will benefit. From the 7th and the 9th, we have the moon transiting Aries, and all of us collectively do have Aries and Chiron healing us at the moment over the next 7 years. So for you, this does fall on your 4th house. This can be your daily routine. It can be emotions relating to your childhood and the past. as well as your ability to be able to achieve all that is required. Try and get yourself grounded. Again, go back to base chakra and balance the sacral chakra. And really, at any time we have a trigger, it's okay to be sitting in it, but being mindful of our communication style. So if you do find that the throat chakra is going crazy and you want to mask somebody, try and get grounded, eliminate some of the problems that you have on your plate, and that can be merely writing down a list and allocating, how many days we give to each issue. And by working through such, we can reach that end. I do feel it's important to understand it's a 3-day window, and it can be a very vital force where you do feel highly energetic and active. So this could potentially, from a healthy point of view, be a good day for exercise. From the 9th through to the 12th, we have the moon transiting Taurus. Now, on the 11th, we do have the new moon in Taurus. This can be a very positive time, both at a financial level and at a co-creative level. This also can be a very creative time. So, as I mentioned in the report, it can be quite a fertile time. So just practice safely. And definitely emotions linking to childhood can come up, but it can also be positivity of seeing a potential. So this is both the heart chakra and the yellow chakra. We then have the moon transiting Gemini from the 12th through to the 14th. Effective communication and throat chakra will be important during this time. Also, healthy boundaries and not overburdening ourselves. Getting grounded, balance the base chakra, and understand that during this time you can feel that you will be multitasking. What you don't want on your mind, write down on a pad so you don't forget. From the 15th to the 17th, you may have a lot of third eye. You also may have a lot of creative energy sources going through you and an upgrade through the solar plexus. I do feel some of you could feel very nostalgic when it does come to people of the past, or highly volatile, depending on which realm you're in. Last but not least, we do have from the 17th through to the 19th, we have the moon transiting Leo. Now, with the moon transiting Leo, it does connect in to your 8th house. And this is really the house of opening up. It's your strength. It's your need to create stability. It can be anything relating to taxes, inheritances, ability to bounce back. We do have Pluto retrograde, which does very much link into your 8th house. So paying attention to such and really having faith and operating from heart chakra. I hope you come back to the moon energies to test how the theories went with the moon energies and balancing those chakras that are picked for your zodiac sign. Yes, they're all very individual in each zodiac sign, so please do have a look at sun, moon and rising. Hi guys, welcome back. Okay, this is your bi-monthly energy update astrologically. Now, I am going to mention the tedious energies of where the placements are. Okay, we do have the new moon occurring on the 11th in the house of Taurus. The sun also currently is in Taurus and it will enter Gemini on the 20th. Mercury is in the house of Taurus and it will be entering the house of Gemini on the 9th and going into shadow retrograde by mid-month. Mars also is in the house of Cancer until June the 11th. So bear that in mind when it comes to your emotions. We're also going to be having Venus in Taurus up until the 9th, where it will transit into the house of Gemini. That can be where we are going to be super busy, but we will need this flexibility to be playful and to be ourselves and not be controlling. We're also towards mid-month 26 going to be having the total lunar eclipse in the house of Sagittarius. Now, the Astrology Big Boss states is the place where you need to be mindful of retrogrades and major transits. Jupiter will be entering the house of Pisces on the 13th of May 2021, and it can give you themes of what's going to happen in 2022. So it's a very important time to be having a look at those areas. Now, we will start feeling Saturn going into shadow by about the 15th, but you can potentially feel it earlier. It is occurring on the 23rd of May and it will go direct to the 1st. Pluto is also in retrograde in the house of Capricorn until the 6th. of October, we also have, last but not least, Mercury in Gemini going into shadow by mid-month in the house of Gemini. So a lot of action, a lot of movement, some frustration, pre-warned, forearmed. Now for your astrology best boss dates, we do have the 9th. Allow love to be fluid and be playful. On the 11th, deep clearing of emotions through actions and relations and relationships. On the 13th, make your dreams come true with beautiful aspects to Neptune. On the 1st to the 15th, get your resumes out and hold on to your hats as Mercury goes into shadow retrograde. Now, these are the astrology hard boss dates, but they're also very quickly some things to be very mindful of during this month and beyond. With Mars in Cancer, we can be guided to be quite emotional, and if we're suppressing things, we can be more upset and aggressive in nature. We also, with Mercury going retrograde, can have some confusion and need to slow down, especially when traveling. Cross all the T's, dot all the I's, and breathe. Now, the 2nd of May, caution with speech and travel, but be on the ball. On May the 11th, emotions and triggers can get the best of us, so try to avoid control. With Pluto in Capricorn retrograde until the 6th, we can feel a little bit nervous when it does come to endings and be coming to term with those things. Use it as a quality system. On the 14th, plan ahead, double check and read all your documents, keep your receipts as Mercury in the house of Gemini goes into shadow retrograde. Yes, we do have additional updates during the week, which is the Psychic Love Updates, live every Friday, Western Australian time. Now, here is the website should you wish to have a booking. Very easy to navigate through. The link is directly below. There is also an informative video to give you instructions of how to use the website. Again, if you do have any issues, inbox me and I can help you navigate through. We do have various readings, which is video, Skype, email, and any other real areas that you wish to have. Just inbox me as per request, as well as emergency bookings. Very separately, I do update you via the website, so if you do sub the website, you get notifications as to specials. See you live on Friday for the Twin Flame update, Western Australian time. For America, it will be Thursday PM. Take care.